We are here on another back-to-school edition of JBS. We got one of the top players in New Jersey, one of the top players in the country, Ryan Jaros, Cranford High School. Still's got the Georgia Tech flag up in the background. We're still verbal commit to Georgia Tech. Talk about his summer, which kind of got him out all over the country and culminated in a very loud home run at the area code games and a good experience there, but always happy to talk to Ryan, and thanks for taking a few minutes.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Mike. Yeah. Still got Georgia Tech up there. Looking forward to the official visit, November 12th.
November 12th, right? That's just before or just after signing day?
Just after.
Okay. That's what, the 10th or something around there?
I think so, yeah, around there.
Excellent. So the first weekend after the official signing day, we're down on campus. Are they Tech playing a home football game that weekend?
They are. They're playing Miami. So it should be a good one. Who knows?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about the summer. We last really saw you in a game that became probably a little more controversial than it should have, the back and forth state championship game with Middletown North. And obviously a tough way to end the school year, but leading into what ended up being a great summer. First, tell us about your Canes national experience, because I think you guys pretty much ended up as like the number one team in the nation.
Yeah.
And tell us about what that was like, where you got to go, and some of those experiences.
Sure. After that state championship game that night, I flew out to play for the Canes, and the next day we already started playing. But it's always a ton of fun. Going out there playing with some of the best kids, I think, in the country. And I think many others think that. And, when you're playing with kids like that, everyone has the same goal. Everyone's lifting each other up. You're learning so much. It's honestly an experience you can't really take for granted. And so I started that off. We went to Florida. We played in a tournament called the Ultimate Baseball Championship, the top 10 teams of the country. We ended up winning it. I think we went 4-0-1. We tied the Dirtbags. Good squad down there in the Carolinas, but it was a great experience that first weekend. I mean, getting back out there with everyone, it was a ton of fun.
I'm probably going to miss a couple Jersey guys on that group, but Steve Echevarria was right, and Duke McCarron.
Yes.
Down at Ocean City. Those are the two that I remember most. Who am I forgetting?
That was it. I know Alex Kranzler was going to play with us, but he ended up getting a little injury.
Yep. Alex rested up and he's ready to he said he wants Cranford next year.
Yeah, year of Cranny again, so we'll see.
That's right. It's always year of Cranny. But let's playing with Steve, obviously rival during the high school year at the school that we aren't allowed to say when we're talking to Cranford from Milburn, and Duke, Ocean City. Certainly has established himself as an awesome pitcher. What's it like specifically playing with those two guys?
Honestly, I think we've all grown with each other this summer. I love both of them. It was a ton of fun hanging out with them the whole time. I roomed with Steven for most of the events. PG National, we roomed together, and then East Coast Pro. So I got really close to Steven. Nice kid, love him. And then Duke actually had us down there, me and Steve, before we went to East Coast Pro. So we were hanging out in Ventnor. Duke lives in Ventnor but goes to Ocean City. So we were hanging out down there, seeing the beach lifestyle. It was cool.
You realizing what you're missing out on being up in North Jersey, right?
Yeah, I know. He almost sucked me in. I wanted to go surfing with him.
That's right. That's we would want video if you're going out surfing with Duke.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. I like both those guys so much. So I had a lot of fun with them.
East Coast Pro was really the next big thing. Tell us about that experience.
East Coast Pro. It was awesome. That was my first event of the summer where the area scouts run it. Last year I did the area code games underclass, but this East Coast Pro one was pretty cool because you're rooming with another player. They're taking you for about 6 hours a game. You're headed out with all the players on a bus. So it made you really feel like a minor league baseball player, a professional baseball player. But they had us for like 8 hours a day. It was a big adjustment. I'm not gonna lie. They would have you there at we'd leave at 6:45 in the morning for a 10 a.m. game. We'd go take BP at 7:30 in the morning in front of some scouts. So it was no joke, but that was a ton of fun too. They fed us, and there was a cool Adidas swag room. I don't know if you got to see that, but it was cool. They gave us a lot of nice stuff, so we were all grateful for that.
Kind of the first experience of it being more of a job, right? Baseball being a job, which is, where you want to get it to anyway. So it's,
Yeah,
what was your thoughts of, what was that lifestyle like?
it's awesome. I can't lie. The day flies by because you're having so much fun, but I won't lie. It takes a toll on your body, so you really got to get back to the room, start stretching out, resting up. Some kids were going out after going to Chick-fil-A, hanging out. I couldn't do that. Ready to crash.
Ryan Jaros can't hang is what we've learned so far, right? From there, pretty much without coming home, you were out to San Diego, right, for the upper class area code games.
Yeah, so me, Steven, and Duke all flew out together to San Diego. I met my parents out there. That was an even cooler experience because it was almost like a vacation on top of the baseball part. So it was a win-win. San Diego was sick. I didn't believe it when someone said perfect weather every day. It really is. You walk outside, it's 70 degrees. There's a nice little breeze, and it was beautiful.
I always wondered how like the Padres weren't like the prime. Everybody says New York and all the money, but like how are the Padres not like the primary free agent, destination, right?
I can't believe it. Like that was starting to hook me. I was like, oh my gosh, imagine living here every day. Never worry about the weather.
Never, never. Other than that, what's the biggest difference between East Coast baseball and West Coast baseball?
Uh, I don't know. I guess the kids get to play all year round, so they're lucky for that. While we're practicing in the snow, but there's nothing like those spring practices in early March when you're bundled up, 2 sweatpants, 2 hoodies.
Tougher. We got a toughness here that they don't have. They don't.
Yeah, because one of the area scouts was saying that he's like us Northeast guys have heart, and that we practice through all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it's the games itself, right? I mean, it was you're playing against some of the best guys in the country. You're playing against guys who are, certainly a number of guys considered top 10 round, on the board to be potential top 10 round draft picks. Tell us about that experience. You were joined, obviously, Duke and Steve, but also Zach Konstantinovsky.
oh, yeah,
Got
exactly.
to, do what he always does here, and just got to do it out on the West Coast and shove, and Cam Fluky from down in from Egg Harbor, and Luca Reyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca, certainly one of the most electric guys in New Jersey. Start Bergen Catholic. Bigger Jersey contingent. What was it like there? And then you open up not that everybody didn't know who you were already, but the wow moment, the last game with, the one, it got to be one of the best balls you've ever hit.
For sure, it's up there.
Tell us about it.
No, it was awesome. The whole area code game experience, all the New Jersey guys. I think there's about 7 of us, and it was just fun going out there and competing. All the pitchers shoved. I know Luca also hit a bomb, so that was cool that both of us did that, and all the pitchers did really well out there for themselves. So I was happy for them. I know Zach shoved really well. Playing the West Coast kids, it's good. I mean, that whole experience was almost like you start to fail a little more, and then you have to start realizing how to deal with that failure and stuff. So that's the next step of baseball. But no, it was very cool.
Yeah, it's cool hitting 500 and stuff in high school, but it's not the most realistic for when you get older, is it?
Exactly, yeah. And then I would say the best thing for a little kid, the tip or like a younger kid, a tip I would give is you got to start getting that failure and like receiving feedback and then starting to know how to deal with the failure, because that could really, break down a kid.
What did you? Well, first of all, before that, the home run. when you catch a ball that clean and that loud and kind of that wow moment, what's it feel like, when you hit it, and what's it feel like running around the bases?
It was awesome. I couldn't hold back my smile. A bunch of one of the area scouts was helping me with my swing. I would get to like a load position. I was stopping it, so I just wanted to do one continuous move. And then he was really excited for me because I was working with him on the cage for that, and then he got to see the feedback on the field. So it was awesome. I smiled right at him when I was rounding third base.
A lot loud feedback is what that was. What you're playing in front of scouts and MLB people at that level, and what feedback did you get about your game that's going to help drive the September to March, the off season, shouldn't say the off season because there's no days off, but
Yeah.
the non-playing season.
Yeah. You get my arm stronger. That's a big thing I want to start doing. I've never really done a throwing program in the winter. I would just long toss a couple days a week, but really want to get on a throwing program. I got J band, so I'm going to start doing those 3 to 5 times a week. Those are I actually met Alan Yeager, great guy, the guy who created J bands, great, awesome guy.
I've been lucky to email with him. I agree with that. I mean, it's a little shout out to Alan and see if we can get him on.
Yeah, for sure. I bet he'd love it. So he's just an awesome guy. But
Yeah.
no, just continue trying to get stronger, perfecting my game.
Yeah. Fall plans?
I'm gonna be playing with the East Coast Ghosts with AJ Gracia and Gianluci, and then I'm going down to Jupiter with the Canes. So
Okay.
the last hurrah.
So East Coast, you playing anything semi-locally then?
Yes, I'm playing in Staten Island, one tournament. I think the other one's in Piscataway.
Excellent. So Piscataway is like even in New Jersey. We get some
Yeah.
not far from Cranford. You get we get some local rep to watch the Jersey guys. That should be because you don't get to, once high school year's over, you're not playing locally that much anymore.
No, not at all.
Something that obviously playing in the all the national tournaments is fun and an amazing experience, but something to be said about playing in front of some local people too.
For sure, yeah. You never forget your roots, but no, traveling down there, it's an awesome experience, but they both have their benefits.
Yep, absolutely. Toughest guy that you faced this summer?
At East Coast Pro, I faced a left-handed pitcher. His name's Adam Hackman. He's going to Arkansas. He popped a 99 during my bat from the left side. Yeah.
It's not fair. And was he just fastball, or you have other filth to go with it?
I fouled off a fastball, and then he threw 2 changeups, and I was like, all right, man, like I'm gearing up for it.
You should be allowed to have a changeup when you're throwing 100.
Right? I didn't think a 91 mile per hour changeup was fair.
No, that's like
the lowest 91 I've ever faced after swinging through them.
Right. Other than the home run in San Diego, what are some moments you're going to remember? Specific moments.
Yeah, for sure. Specific moments. Honestly, just the connections you build with all those kids. You get to know a lot of the kids that you wouldn't really know other than social media, and then seeing them in person, hanging out with them. Everyone's pretty much the same. Everyone has the same goals, so it's really cool to be around kids like you.
Yep. Now, we've talked a lot about the summer. Still got a little bit of unfinished business for your senior year, though, right?
For sure, yeah. I know.
Seeing the Cranford guys, work, seeing Matt Chapman make his commitment. Got to be excited about what still is in store for next year and your last chance to kind of, you started out with the Last Dance, right?
Yeah.
Now your last dance is coming up. What's it feel like, and you got one more year of high school?
Yeah, it flew by, I'm not gonna lie, but just gonna leave all the chips on the table this year. Gonna give it my all. I'm really excited. I know we lost a bunch of really good players, but I think we got some good upcoming players that will fill in the spots. So I'm really excited. I think
still have a bunch of really good players. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for Cranford for some graduation losses, right?
Yeah. We got Matt Chapman committed. Sean Woodruff did too. Both going to South Virginia. Jake Carter's getting. He'll probably make his decision pretty soon. We'll see how that goes. He's got his football Season
Listen,
coming up.
Jake doesn't have like 3 free seconds once school starts, right?
I know football, then basketball, then baseball. So, and then obviously Shea Grady returning. So we're gonna be solid. I'm looking forward to it.
We heard that Matt and Sean really only committed there so they could be close to Shea.
That's funny. Yeah, they've all grew up playing on that younger team together. I was
Yep.
always on the older one, but yeah, they've been great friends since 8 years old. So
You know, you have the national connections. What's it like playing on a high school team where everybody is that close?
it's undescribable, to be honest with you. Like growing up with the same kids like since you were 9, and then getting to compete for a state championship and going at it every single day. It's hard to compete with on another level. Like you've grown up, you know these kids. You go out, the camaraderie is insane. You have to eat after practice mostly every day. We go to lunch at school every day, and then even after like a post game win, we'll go to Applebee's or something. It's when reality sets in when the season's over, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, but there's gonna be a lot of crazy reunions down the road, aren't there?
I hope so. Yeah.
We appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you as always for taking time. We love watching you play. We will hopefully get to see you out in Piscataway this fall,
Yeah.
and get the chance to see you continue the big things as we head towards 23.
Yeah. Let's do it. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me on JBS.